Attention passionate Philadelphia, EAGLES. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Philadelphia Eagles' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Philadelphia Eagles fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Philadelphia, EAGLES. Let's get to the news now, guys. You won't believe the latest buzz in the NFL, especially if you're a die-hard Eagles supporter. Rumors are swirling that the Philadelphia Eagles might be making a significant move in the cornerback position, and it involves none other than Denzel Ward, the star cornerback from the Cleveland Browns. This potential trade could be a game-changer, not only for the Eagles' defense but for their entire Super Bowl aspirations. And honestly, this is the kind of move that could elevate the team to a new level, especially considering how competitive the NFC has become. Now, let's set the scene. The Eagles, coming off a season where they showed resilience, talent, and a real hunger to finally get back to the Super Bowl, are always looking for ways to improve their roster. Their defense, in particular, has been a point of focus, especially their cornerback room. Darius Slay, who's been a cornerstone for the Eagles' secondary, is still performing at a high level, but at 33, questions about the long-term stability of the position naturally come into play. The Eagles, like many contenders, want to balance immediate competitiveness with future-proofing their roster. That's where Denzel Ward comes into the picture. Denzel Ward, 28 years old, is widely regarded as one of the top cornerbacks in the league. His ability to shut down top receivers, his agility, ball skills, and coverage intelligence make him a perfect fit for a team like the Eagles, which thrives on a versatile and aggressive secondary. Now, the interesting part is the trade compensation. According to reports, the Cleveland Browns are open to trading Ward, but not at any cost. The current speculation is that Cleveland would be looking for a second-round pick in the 2026 draft and a third-rounder in 2027. That's a reasonable price for a player of Ward's caliber, especially considering his age and performance level. To put this into perspective, let's look at the historical context of cornerback trades in the NFL. The Browns' willingness to trade Ward might be influenced by the fact that teams often hesitate to part with significant draft capital for top cornerbacks once they've signed veteran extensions. For example, ESPN analyst Bill Barnwell recently pointed out that players like Darius Slay and Jalen Ramsey, both of whom are elite corners, did not fetch more than a third-round pick when traded at similar ages. Slay, who was traded from the Detroit Lions to the Eagles, was 28 at the time, and the compensation was a third-round pick plus a fifth-rounder. Ramsey, on the other hand, was acquired by the Rams for 2 first-round picks, but he was only 24, entering his prime. This context is crucial because it hints that Ward's value, given his current age and performance, could be at least a second-round pick, if not higher. The Eagles, under the leadership of Howie Roseman, are known for their strategic moves, and they've already shown a willingness to shake things up when they see an opportunity. If Ward becomes available, it's very plausible that the Eagles will be at the front of the line, willing to pay that price to bolster their secondary. And here's the kicker. The Eagles' interest in making a trade for Ward isn't happening in a vacuum. The team has been actively exploring options before the season begins, aiming to tighten up their defense and stay ahead in the NFC East. The division itself is incredibly competitive, with teams like the Washington Commanders still lurking and ready to challenge if the Eagles slip up. The Lions from the NFC North are also a formidable threat, boasting an offense that can put up points in bunches, which means every piece of their defense has to be optimized. Now, why would Cleveland be willing to trade Ward? Well, one reason might be to avoid paying him a massive extension into his early 30s. Cleveland, much like other NFL teams, faces salary cap constraints and must make tough decisions about how to allocate resources. If they believe they can get a solid draft haul now, they might prefer to recoup some assets rather than commit long-term financially to Ward. Plus, Cleveland has shown in recent years that they're not afraid to make bold moves if it benefits their rebuild or current strategy. It's worth noting that the Eagles have already demonstrated their willingness, to trade draft capital for immediate upgrades. Just look at how they acquired Darius Slay from the Lions in 2020. That move paid off immensely, as Slay became a leader in their secondary and a vital part of their Super Bowl run. Now, if they can add someone like Ward, who's not only young but also in his prime, it could be the missing piece to their defense, especially in a league where passing games are more explosive than ever. The NFL's cornerback market has been interesting lately. Players like Jalen Ramsey, who was traded from the Jaguars to the Rams for 2 first-round picks, set a high standard for what teams are willing to pay for elite talent. Ramsey was just 24 at the time, and his trade value reflected that. Denzel Ward, at 28, might not command the same price as Ramsey did, but he's still a top-tier talent. That makes him an attractive target, especially for a team like the Eagles that's keen on bolstering their secondary without overextending financially. It's also important to consider how Ward would fit into the Eagles' defensive scheme. Their defense has been aggressive, often relying on press coverage and complex blitz packages to disrupt opposing quarterbacks. Ward's skill set aligns perfectly with this approach. His ability to shadow top receivers, combined with his ball-hawking instincts, would make him a nightmare for NFC offenses trying to move the ball through the air. Plus, with Slay still performing well, the Eagles could have a formidable duo that would be among the best in the league. But it's not just about adding talent. It's about making a strategic move that aligns with the team's long-term goals. The Eagles have been building a solid roster around Jalen Hurts, who's proven to be one of the most dynamic quarterbacks in the NFL. They've got a young, explosive offense, a solid offensive line, and now they're looking to upgrade their secondary to match their offensive firepower. If acquiring Ward helps them shut down the league's top passing offenses and gives their young defense more experience and talent, it could be the difference maker in their Super Bowl quest. Of course, trade rumors are always just that, rumors. But given the current landscape of the NFL and how active Howie Roseman has been in the past, it's not out of the realm of possibility. The Eagles are known for their savvy trades and strategic moves, and this could be one of their boldest yet. The NFL season is just around the corner, and with the potential addition of Denzel Ward, the Eagles might have just taken a significant step toward cementing their place among the NFC's elite. And let's not forget, the NFC is wide open this year. The 49ers, Cowboys, and even the Lions are all vying for supremacy. But the Eagles have the talent, the coaching, and the hunger to make another deep playoff run. Strengthening their secondary with a player like Ward could be the final piece they need to elevate their defense from good to great. Imagine a defense that can lock down opponents in crucial moments, force turnovers, and give Hurts even more opportunities to light up the scoreboard. It's a tantalizing prospect for any Eagles fan. Now, in terms of the broader NFL landscape, this move would also send ripples across the league. It would signal that the Eagles are serious about contending now, not just in the future. It could also spark other teams to consider bold trades or signings as the season approaches. The NFL is all about the next move, and if this trade comes to fruition, it's going to be one of the most talked about topics in the league. Fans and analysts alike will dissect every detail, every stat, and every possible outcome. So what's next? Well, all eyes are on Cleveland. Will they agree to trade Ward? Will the Eagles pull the trigger? And how will this impact their immediate season and their long-term plans? It's a developing story, and we'll be watching closely to bring you all the updates as they unfold. But one thing is for sure, the Philadelphia Eagles are positioning themselves for another serious run, and adding a top cornerback like Denzel Ward could be the move that takes them over the edge. Now guys, I want to hear from you. Would you love to see Ward in Eagles green? Do you think this move would put them at the top of the NFC? Or do you believe they should focus on other areas of the roster? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion really matters to us and of course to the team. I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for all the latest Philadelphia Eagles news, rumors, and analysis. Remember, this is a team that's always looking to get better, and sometimes, bold moves like this can define a franchise's season and perhaps even their legacy. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, fly, Eagles, fly.